Hear these words like everything around you has gone quiet and only your heartbeat is left. You did not come here by luck. It was not random. It was not a wrong turn. It was not just curiosity. This moment was already set. I have watched your journey. I have seen your hidden pain. I have seen the fights you faced when nobody else knew. I've seen the nights when you laid down exhausted, not only in your body, but deep in your soul, asking how much longer you could carry it. And today I am here to tell you something very clearly. Your strength has not been for nothing. Every tear that fell with no one there to dry it was seen. Every quiet prayer was heard. Every breath of tiredness was kept in account. There was never one single day when I was far from you, even when it felt like heaven said nothing. Listen carefully. The silence was not rejection. The silence was getting you ready. While you thought nothing was changing, I was arranging things you could not see. While you felt your prayers were disappearing into the air, I was holding them for the right time. And that time has started. There is something you need to understand from this moment on. You are not behind. You are not out of time. You did not lose your chance. You are exactly where you must be to receive what is ahead. What you called delay, I called safety. What you called failure, I called preparation, because what I am going to place in your hands needs a version of you that could only be shaped by what you have lived. I know the questions you were afraid to speak. I know that many times you looked up and thought, why me? Why has it taken so long? Why does it look like others move ahead while I stay still? I do not blame you for asking. I know your heart, and I know that even with doubt you did not stop looking for me. Today I end a cycle. I end the cycle of waiting without end. I end the cycle of shut doors. I end the cycle of answers that never come. Something starts moving for your good from this very moment. Not because you pushed it, not because you earned it more than anyone else, but because this is the time I chose. I want you to notice what you feel right now. That mix of hope and fear. Hope, because something in you knows these words are meant for you. Fear, because you do not want to believe too much again. Let me tell you with love. This time it is not about false hope. This time it is about my hand moving. I have seen how you kept going even when you did not understand the road. I have seen how you carried loads that were not yours. I have seen how you stayed strong for others while feeling weak inside. And I want you to know something maybe no one told you plainly. I am proud of you. Not because you did everything right, but because you did not quit. Because even hurt you kept moving. Even discouraged you kept trusting. Even tired, you did not fully release your faith. That was not ignored. The atmosphere over your life is changing. What once felt heavy is starting to lift. What once pressed against you is beginning to lose power. Not because your problems are already gone, but because they do not get the final word anymore. The final word is mine. Listen closely. What is coming will not be small. It will not be something hardly noticed. It will be big enough for you to look back at this moment and say, this is where everything started. It will be an answer so plain that no doubt will be left. It will be a door opening when you had already made peace with it staying shut. I have seen your faith in the little things. I have seen how you chose what was right, even when nobody praised you. I have seen how you planted even when the soil looked dry. And I tell you, today the harvest begins to come, not all in one moment, but in a steady way. At first you will notice small signs, but they will keep coming, confirmations that will make you raise your head and say, Something is changing. Do not overlook those signs. Do not make them seem small. Do not say, "It is only chance." They are reminders from heaven telling you that you are not by yourself and that you have not been forgotten. Each sign is one more piece of the puzzle going into place. I want to speak straight to your tiredness. A tiredness that sleep cannot fix. A tiredness that comes from waiting too long, from trusting too much, from giving too much. I see it, and I also see the rest that is coming. Not a shallow rest, but a deep rest where your mind becomes still and your heart breathes in peace again. You do not need to rush ahead of me. You do not need to measure yourself against anyone. You do not need to prove anything. Just walk with me through this part. I will open what you cannot open and close what could hurt you. This is only the start of the message I need to give you. What you have heard until now is the base. There are still things I must show you. Certain areas that will be touched. Real things that will start to appear. Do not pull away, do not lose focus. Keep your heart open, because if you have come this far, it is not to remain the same. It is because your story is about to change. Now I need you to take a deep breath and let these words sink below your thoughts. Do not hear them only with your ears. Let them enter the places where you have hidden what you never said, what you pushed down, what hurt you too deeply to explain, because that is where I am going to work. Now I want to speak to you about the weight you have carried quietly, about those duties you took because no one else did, about the times you had to grow up too early, about the choices you made with fear, but also with courage. You did not become strong because you wished to. You became strong because there was no other choice, and even then you stayed sensitive. You kept a heart that feels, that loves, that believes. That says a lot about you. I know that many times you felt alone. I know there were moments when you looked around and felt that nobody understood what you were going through. But I want you to hear this carefully. You never walked by yourself. Even when you could not feel my presence, I was there. Even when you doubted, I did not doubt you. Even when you thought of giving up, I had already decided to hold you up. There is something that is about to break, but not inside you, round you. An unseen resistance that had been slowing your progress for a long time is breaking apart. Barriers you could not explain, but you could feel. Limits that seemed to appear right when you were about to move ahead. That starts to fall, not by human power, but by spiritual authority. I want you to know that your story is not usual, not ordinary, not small. That is why the process has been so heavy. That is why the trials were so exact. That is why the falls hurt so deeply. Because what is coming needs depth, character, sensitivity, and true faith, not something shallow. Brothers and sisters, I want to speak with you sincerely for a moment. Right now, our channel has been demonetized, which means YouTube is no longer providing support for this ministry. Yet despite this season, our mission to spread the word of God continues without hesitation. There is a devoted team behind these videos, faithfully serving day and night. As the one leading this ministry, I carry the responsibility of supporting them, but without ad revenue. Continuing this work has become more challenging than ever. If these messages have blessed your heart in any way, I humbly ask you to prayerfully consider supporting this ministry. Your gift through Ko-fi helps us keep sharing the gospel and shining His light. You can find the link in the description or pinned comment. We are truly thankful for your love, prayers, and support. And now, let us return to the message and all of that was shaped inside you in the hardest moments. Do not believe you wasted time. Do not believe you were moving backward. Even in the seasons when you looked still, you were being made ready. There are lessons that can only be learned while waiting. There is discernment that only grows in quietness. There is strength that only forms when there is no applause. Now a shift is beginning, and every shift feels uncomfortable at first. It feels like uncertainty, like nervousness, like a mix of excitement and fear. But that discomfort is not a warning of danger. It is a sign of movement. It is a sign that you are not where you used to be, but you have not yet reached where you are going. Hear this clearly. You will not be the same person after what is ahead, not only because of what you will receive, but because of what you will understand. Your way of seeing life, of seeing yourself, of understanding your purpose, will start to change. What once scared you will now begin to draw you. What once looked impossible will now begin to look possible. I want to speak to you about your value. Not the value others placed on you, not the value tied to success, titles, or results. I am speaking of your true value. You are worthy because of who you are, not only because of what you do. And that value was never uncertain to me, even when you doubted it many times yourself. You have put up with things you should not have accepted. You have settled for less than you deserved. You have stayed in places where your soul became smaller, but that ends now. Not because you have become proud, but because now you know who you are. And when you know who you are, you stop bargaining with your peace. There are choices you will make soon. Some will be obvious, others will make you shake a little. Do not be afraid. You are not making up your life as you go. You are answering an inner call that has been growing for a long time. Trust that voice that moves you ahead even when you cannot see the whole map. I will not show you everything at once, not because I am unable, but because I trust you. I will show you the next step when you are ready to take it. And when you take it, I will show you the one after that. That is how real faith works. It is not seeing the whole picture. It is walking with confidence. I want you to remember something important. Not everyone who has been with you until now will go with you into the next stage. And that does not mean betrayal or failure. It means alignment. There are people who are part of the process but not part of the destiny. Be thankful for what they added. Let go of what no longer belongs, and move ahead without guilt. There will also be new people, divine connections, people who will come at the right moment, with the right words, with the right help. You will not need to force those relationships. They will flow on their own. You will feel peace, not confusion. Pay attention to your thoughts in the coming days. There will be moments of sudden clarity, ideas that come without effort, understandings that arrive all at once. Do not ignore them. Write them down if needed. They are seeds of what is coming. I want you to rest in this. You do not need to prove anything to receive what is on the way. You do not need to try harder for me to move. My intervention is not a prize for performance. It is an expression of love and purpose. What is coming is not because you finally got everything right, but because the time has come. This is a call to trust again, not in empty promises, not in people's words, but in the process that is already moving. Something was set in motion when you chose not to fully give up. Something was set in motion when, even tired, you kept moving ahead. Something was set in motion when you decided to believe one more time. And what you are reading now is part of that movement. It is not random. It is not extra. It is preparation, because what comes next will be more specific, more direct, more revealing. I am about to speak to you about real areas that will be touched, about signs you will know, about changes you will start to notice. Stay alert. Keep your heart open. Do not rush ahead, but do not stay behind either. Walk with me. The best was not left behind. It is right in front of you. Now I am taking you deeper because you are no longer only hearing a message, you are stepping into a process. And this process is not shallow, not only emotional. It is spiritual. It is inward. It is life-changing. I want you to understand that what you are feeling is not confusion. It is alignment. Your spirit is recognizing something that your mind is still learning to understand. For a long time you lived in survival mode, doing what was needed so you would not fall, not quit, not completely break. You learned to keep going with a weary heart. You learned to smile while rebuilding inside. You learned to adjust, to stand firm, to endure. But hear this carefully. A season ends not because you failed, but because it has already done its work. Survival taught you how to endure, but now another season is coming, expansion. And expansion is always scary because it asks you to let go of old ways of thinking, old habits, old identities born from pain. You were not made only to survive life. You were made to live it fully, with purpose, with true joy. I want to speak to you about something that shaped your story more than you realize. The times you felt unseen, those moments when you gave your best and it was not noticed, when you helped and nobody thanked you, when you were there for others, but no one was there for you. It left marks, and even though you learned to continue, those marks remained in silence. Today I come to tell you I did see you. I did keep record of it. I do honor what you did when no one else did. And not only do I honor it, I reward it. Not always in the way you expected, but in the way that truly changes your life. An inner restoration begins now. Is that loud? Is love grammatic? Is do. It is like clean water slowly washing a wound that had been covered for a very long time. You are going to start giving yourself permission to feel without guilt, to admit what hurt without making it seem small, to let go of the constant pressure to be strong all the time. Listen to me carefully. Rest is not quitting. Pausing for a moment is not failure. Asking for help is not weakness. For a long time you expected more from yourself than you would ever expect from anyone else. You were hard on yourself, judgmental toward yourself, impatient with yourself. That also starts to break now, because what is coming needs a version of you that treats itself with compassion, not with cruelty. That sees itself with truth, not with hatred. That speaks to itself with love, not with blame. You cannot enter a new season with an identity built from old pain. There are thoughts that will not stay with you anymore. Thoughts that said, I am not enough. The same things always happen to me. It is useless to try. Those thoughts were not truly your voice. They were your wounds speaking. And now those wounds begin to lose their hold. I want you to understand something important. Not everything that hurt you was a loss. Many of those experiences gave you discernment, depth, and empathy. They taught you to notice what others do not say, to sense atmospheres, to understand processes. That was not for nothing. It is part of how you were made. Now a new stage begins where you stop reacting from pain and start responding from clarity. You will no longer move only from fear of losing, but from confidence to move ahead. You will no longer take the first thing that appears only because you fear ending up with nothing. You will begin to choose, not only to survive. And this will bring clear changes. Changes in the way you speak, changes in the limits you set, changes in the choices you make. Some people will notice that you are not the same anymore. Not because you became cold, but because you became aware. I want to get you ready for something. When you begin to change inwardly, your outer world also starts to rearrange. There will be needed conversations, some of them uncomfortable. There will be silences that no longer feel heavy to you. There will be goodbyes that hurt less than you expected. And there will be beginnings that come with a peace that cannot be pretended. Pay attention to what starts making you uncomfortable. Sometimes discomfort is not a sign of something wrong, but of growth. Things you once allowed no longer fit you. Places you once accepted now leave you drained. That does not mean you are ungrateful. It means you are changing. Do not say sorry for growing. Do not feel guilty for changing. Do not turn against yourself just to fit into places that no longer match who you are becoming. Growth always asks you to be honest with yourself. I want to speak to you now about the fear that shows up when something good is close to appearing. A quiet fear that says, what if it does not work? What if I am mistaken? What if I fall again? That fear is not proof that something is wrong. It is proof that something important matters. But do not let it choose for you. You are not walking without direction. You are walking with guidance. Even if you cannot see the whole road, every step you take with purpose opens the next one. Trust the process, even when you do not know all the answers. There are doors that will start opening on their own, not forced, not controlled, not pushed. They will simply open and you will feel the difference, because they will not come with anxiety, but with inner certainty. There will also be small tests, not to stop you but to strengthen you. Situations that will test your new way of thinking, your new way of responding. Do not return there. That is not going backward. It is training so you can hold what is coming. I want you to understand something essential. What you are receiving now is inner structure, and that structure will be needed to carry outward expansion, because without structure a blessing becomes a weight. And I do not want what is coming to crush you, I want it to move you forward. That is why this process is being careful, deep, gradual, not rushed, not shallow, not disordered. Every inner adjustment is bringing your life into line with something greater. You are not losing control, you are letting go of control. And that is different. Letting go of control does not mean leaving your responsibility. It means no longer carrying what was never yours. In the coming days you will have moments of deep clarity, moments when something settles into place inside you. Do not ignore them. Do not overthink them too much. Let them guide you. This is a turning point. Do not force it, but do not run from it either. You are not in the same place anymore. And what is ahead is not a repeat of the past. It is a more aligned, more steady, more free version of your story. What comes next will be even more specific. I am going to start speaking to you about real areas where you will begin to see true movement, clear signs, visible changes. But you needed this foundation first because now you are ready to hold what is coming without losing yourself. Stay here. Do not rush ahead. Do not lose focus. Your story is not ending, it is opening. Now that your inner world is beginning to settle, it is time to speak about what will start to appear on the outside, because every real change is first formed in silence. But there comes a moment when it cannot stay hidden any longer, and that moment is getting close for you. Not like a chaotic burst, but like an ordered series of events that later will show you that nothing was accidental. I want you to understand something clearly. Not every step forward feels like an instant win. Many times progress appears as an uncomfortable choice, as a conversation still waiting to happen, as a door that opens and at the same time asks you to leave another one behind. That is why it matters that you do not mistake discomfort for error. You are entering new ground, and what is new always asks for adjustment. There are certain areas of your life that will begin to move, some that were stuck for a long time, others that seem settled, but will now be rearranged. Do not be alarmed if at first it feels like too many pieces are moving. That movement is not loss of control, it is reordering. One of the first things you will notice is a change in your clarity. You will start to see more clearly what is yes and what is no. People, projects, habits, decisions. Where before you questioned too much, now there will be a quiet certainty, not impulsive, not proud, but steady. That clarity is a sign of inner maturity. You will also notice that your energy changes. You will no longer want to spend it on everything and everyone. You will begin to guard your time, your attention, your peace, not from selfishness, but from wisdom, because now you know that not everything deserves access to you, and that is part of the growth you have reached. I want to speak to you about something that will matter in this stage. You will learn to tell the difference between urgency and direction. Urgency presses, rushes, confuses. Direction leads, confirms, calms. What is coming for you will not drive you into despair. It will call you to move ahead with conviction. If something creates constant anxiety in you, pause and pay attention. Not everything quick is right. There will be opportunities, yes, some obvious, others hidden. You will not need to take all of them. Choosing wisely will matter more than choosing a lot. Remember, you are not trying to fill empty spaces. You are building a future, and a future is built with conscious choices, not emotional reactions. In this stage, your inner voice will grow stronger. That intuition you once doubted will now become clearer. Do not ignore it. Do not silence it because you are afraid of being wrong. You have learned enough to trust more in what you sense. You are not naive, you are sensitive and alert. I also want to get you ready for moments of contrast. There will be days of strong progress and days that seem quiet. Do not read the quiet days as going backward. Many times the most important things happen when it looks like nothing is moving. That is where change becomes firm, where decisions settle, where character grows stronger. There is something important you need to understand. Not everyone will be happy about your growth. Some will feel uneasy, others confused. Others will try to remind you of who you used to be. Do not turn it into a battle. Do not explain yourself more than needed. Your transformation does not need outside approval to be real. Keep your heart clean. Do not grow with bitterness. Grow with clarity. Do not shut down your sensitivity. Put it in order. Do not build unnecessary walls. Set healthy boundaries. There is a deep difference between protecting yourself and cutting yourself off. You will learn to do that with balance. I want to speak to you now about active patience. It is not doing nothing, it is not giving up, it is moving when it is time and waiting when it is needed. It is not pushing processes because of anxiety or leaving them because of tiredness. It is trusting the right pace, even when it does not match what you expected. There will be moments when you feel pulled back toward old patterns because they feel familiar. Do not punish yourself for feeling that pull, but do not return. You no longer need those ways to survive. Now you are learning to live from a more steady, more aware, more aligned place. You are starting to understand that not everything good comes wrapped in intense emotion. Sometimes what is truly good arrives with calm, with consistency, with a feeling of this belongs. Learn to value that peace. It is one of the clearest signs that you are on the right path. You will also begin to notice that some answers come before you even ask the question. Situations that work themselves out, doors that close without conflict, people who move away without drama. That is not loss, it is order. When things move without resistance, it is because they have already completed their cycle. I want you to stay aware of small confirmations. They will not always come as major events. Sometimes they will come as exact words, timely meetings, decisions that become easier. Those small signs are showing the direction. Do not think too little of yourself in this stage. You have built an inner strength you did not have before. You have gained depth, discernment, and calm. You are not the same person who started this process, and that is something you need to see and honor. Now more than ever, be careful with how you speak to yourself. Your inner voice is becoming a powerful tool. Use words that build you, not words that tear you down. Remember, you are not beginning from zero. You are beginning from experience. I want you to know this. There is no need to rush, but there is also no standing still. You are moving, even when you do not always feel it. Every conscious choice, every healthy boundary, every honest moment with yourself is opening the way. What is coming does not aim to impress you. It aims to support you. It does not aim to dazzle you. It aims to align you. And that difference changes everything, because when something is aligned, it lasts. This part of the process is quiet but strong. Do not look down on it. Here the base of what will soon be seen is being formed. And when it becomes visible, it will not catch you off guard. You will know it because you will have felt it growing inside you first. Stay alert. Stay present. Do not rush ahead or fall behind. You are exactly where you need to be for the next step, and that step will not take long to appear. Now it is time to speak about something you have felt many times, but maybe did not know how to describe. The tension between who you are now and who you know you can become. That feeling of being in between, of no longer fully fitting into the past, but not yet fully living in the future. The tension is not a problem. It is a clear sign of active change. You are crossing a threshold, and every threshold means leaving something behind before you can receive something new. It is not always about obvious things. Sometimes what is being released is not a person, or a place, or an outside situation, but the way you see yourself. An inner story that stayed with you for years and no longer explains who you are becoming. For a long time you defined yourself by what you survived, by what you endured, by what you achieved in spite of everything, and that was necessary. But now that identity is starting to become too small. You no longer need pain to be the center of your story. You no longer need to prove your strength through suffering. You are entering a stage where your identity is rooted in coherence, not in resistance. This can create a strange feeling of temporary emptiness, as if something that once pushed you is no longer there. But the new has not fully appeared yet. Do not be afraid. That space is not absence, it is transition. It is the place where your direction is being redefined. I want you to know something important. You are not losing motivation. You are refining intention. Before, urgency moved you. Now purpose moves you. Before you reacted, now you choose. And choosing with awareness requires pause, observation, and honesty. In this stage you will begin to notice that some things that once excited you no longer do, and others you once did not think about now draw your attention. That is a sign that your values are shifting. Do not resist it. Let that reordering happen. It is also possible that you feel more emotional sensitivity, not because you are going backward, but because you are more present. You are no longer numbing yourself and are beginning to feel with clarity. And feeling clearly is necessary for making aligned decisions. There will be moments when you ask yourself if you are doing enough, if you should move faster, if you are using your time well. Do not punish yourself with those questions. Use them as guidance, not as judgment. You are learning to move from a healthier place, not from constant pressure. I want to speak to you now about something that will matter deeply. You will learn to say no without guilt, not out of rejection, but out of self-respect. Every time you say no to what does not belong, you are saying yes to what does. And that takes courage. Courage to put yourself first, to care for yourself, to honor your process. Not everyone will understand this change. Some will see it as distance, others as coldness, but you know the truth. You are choosing not to betray yourself, and that choice will make a deep difference in your path. You will begin to notice that your time becomes more precious, not because you have less of it, but because now you understand what it costs. And when you know what it costs, you handle it with awareness. This will bring order, focus, and a stronger sense of inner control. There is something else happening quietly. You are getting back parts of yourself that you had put aside, dreams you paused, interests you shut down because you had no energy, parts of your personality you hid so you could fit in. Little by little, without forcing anything, that starts to come back. Not everything will return in the same form. Some things will come back changed. Others will only return as a memory so you can close the cycle. And that is okay. Not everything that once was has to happen again to still have meaning.